So my next task is to aerate the lawn. I was considering buying a aerator, but then I've got a fork, and one of my colleagues at work just suggested using the fork. He said it's not worth using the size of a lawn I've got an aerator on it. Certainly spending £100, 120 quid on it. So I'm going to use a fork, a little bit of graft, and let's poke some holes in the green stuff. So I've already done that part there. That's the first half of the lawn. So I'm just going to continue from this point backwards. All that I do, start from this side. And that's all I do, making sure I don't stab my toes. Well, I've aerated the lawn, so the next thing is to give it a good mow. Since I've added the EA blanket weed killer, the pH level has come down on the pond, and yesterday I also added some calcium chloride. The calcium chloride serves two purposes. The first one is it does lower the pH level to a certain degree, and two, it also helps to settle the fish down if you've got too much nitrite in the pond. It does something to the water, and no one seems to know, but they do know that calcium chloride helps if you've got too much nitrite. So I measured the pH level again today, and it's come down from 8.5 from a couple of days ago down to 7.5. Now that's probably mainly due to the blanket weed killer kicking in. Bear in mind that what blanket weed actually does, blanket weed feeds off carbon dioxide. Now, in the evening, when it can't photosynthesize, the blanket weed takes the carbon dioxide from the water. Carbon dioxide also helps to lower the pH. So the more your carbon dioxide goes out of the water into the blanket weed, the pH level would then rise. Carbon dioxide at the end of the day is what you get in fizzy drinks. And as you know, when you drink a fizzy drink, you get that little bit of a kick, and that's actually acid. That's why fizzy drinks are no good for your teeth. They will rot them away. It'll basically eat away at your teeth. So while the blanket weed is actually feeding on that carbon dioxide and taking it out of the water in the evening, because there's no sun, your pH level will go up, and sometimes it can go to a point, if you've got that much blanket weed in, it will crash the pH level. It'll go straight up and you'll see the fish flash. I'm just surprised how many people, they see the fish flash in the evening and straight away they go for the koi medication or the pond water treatment. It's not the treatment, it's the algae that is the problem, and your pH levels are rising due to excess algae or blanket weed in your pond. So anyway, what I've done, I've added some calcium chloride after the blanket weed yesterday. That's helped to reduce it from pH level from 8.5 down to 7.5. Now what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to add a little touch more calcium chloride. Ideally I want to bring it down to about 7.2. So I've added 20 spoonfuls of calcium chloride into a bucket of water. That's not too much, and hopefully that just bring it down a touch more without affecting the fish too much. If I see them flash at any point, I'll stop pouring it in. So I'm going to put half a bucket in first, leave it for a couple of hours, see how the fish go on, and pour the rest in. And it's basically 1 gallon of water to 20 spoonfuls, I'm talking about dessert spoonfuls now, of calcium chloride. So it's a bit cloudy at the top, as you can see, but I've had that water there for about 2 hours now, so I'm confident it's stopped effervescing to a certain degree, and I'm going to pour half of that, half the water into the pond now. So there you are, that's half a watering can, and I'll leave the rest till about 2 hours time. Let's see how the fish go on now. So to the next stage, I've aerated the lawn, so the next thing is to put some agricultural grade gypsum down. And hopefully what that will do, it'll go inside the holes that have been created by the aeration and break up the compacted soil, which includes quite a bit of clay, to be honest. So I'm hoping it helps just to break everything down. Then when I come to feed it, the lawn should turn out quite luscious come the end of May, middle of June. So let's find out. So all I'm going to do now is just sprinkle it on. I did have a sprinkler, but unfortunately the handle's broken, so I'm going to have to put it down by hand. And the next thing I'm going to do is just to sprinkle it all in with a little bit of water. Okay, I put the gypsum down yesterday. Now what I'm going to do now is put some weed and feed down, and what I'm using is this. It's Westlands Aftercut all-in-one. Now I have used it before and it is pretty good. I might need to use another box, but I'm just going to put the one down for the first application. Then I'll probably put another application down in about 6 weeks. So what I did with the gypsum yesterday after I applied it was to put a good soak of water on the top of it on the lawn. So the lawn now should be slightly damp, but the grass itself is dry, so the weed and feed shouldn't burn the grass itself. So let's crack on with it. Simply just pour it and sprinkle it over the lawn. So there you are. It's been raining for a couple of days, but the grass is starting to improve already. There's still that little bit of a bare patch just on the right hand side there. As you can see, But overall, I'm pleased with the improvement. At least it's green now and starting to turn luscious. Obviously the rain has helped. Having said that, I have to say that the quality of the grass is actually thickened out just a little bit, and that's within a matter of 3 to 4 days. So yes, the rain has helped, but there's no doubt about it that by aerating, putting down the gypsum, I don't think that's done a great deal at this particular point, but certainly when I put in the, undoubtedly it's helped. I mean, just look. I know you can still see 1 or 2 weeds, but look how the grass is starting to thicken out. That's undoubted in my mind anyway. The other patches there where the moss is starting to die back, if you can just see. So the moss killer is absolutely working. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to leave that for a few days, just allow the rain to do its work. I'll let it grow another inch and then I'll cut it. And then I'll probably leave it until the end of May, beginning of June, and then I'll put a cover of compost on top of the lawn itself, try and even it out because it's a little bit lumpy, and then reseed it. And then hopefully come the end of July that lawn should be in pretty good tip-top condition. So it's from a rainy day in Wales. I'll see you again, and the next video I'll concentrate purely on the pond and the filter system, and let's see what I got up to next time. Have a good one, and happy gardening and happy ponding.